other people are living for the first time too. It's very easy to expect people to be on your standards, have your expectations to a T, and think the exact same way that you do. But that's not realistic at all. That's not fair of you either. Because we all have our own human experiences. We all have different ways of living. And when you have these assumptions about people, that's not fair. And especially with those people who are younger than you too. Because it's just not, they don't have as much life experience as you. And different things have shaped you in a way that you are more knowledgeable in different aspects and topics. And I think one of the hardest things to understand is like meeting everybody's expectations and where they are, and trying to find a happy medium and a compromise and something that can make everybody happy. And yes, a compromise is not a win-win all the time, or is considered actually a win-win. But I think it's when the best case scenario is we talk it out, we get through it, we understand each other's point of view, and we move forward, and we have expectations met a little bit more. I say this coming from the perspective of having younger people in my life and them having different backgrounds. Like, one of my roommates is like younger than me, and we just have different ways of living, and I don't know their preference for things. I don't know how they do things, and it's like, it's their first time living too. Like, I've lived with other people for the past handful of years living in college and my internships and whatnot. And so them just having maybe a brand new experience of having roommates and actually having their own kitchen, it might be new for them. And I think it's just like a reminder for me that I need to meet them where they are. I need to have open communication. I need to be aware and understanding that not everybody has my experience, and not everybody needs to have my experience either. To cohabitate, to coexist together in the same apartment. And it's really just made me really lean on my communication skills, because we've had like conversations of like temperature. I'm trying to think what else, like temperature, spaces of like food, allergies, just like the small nitty-gritty things, and like preferences about how I want like my kitchen utensils to be used and so forth. And you know, you don't know what you don't know. And I think when you can position those questions with those people that don't have your life experience as a question or a collaboration or a teamwork, it's a lot more enlightening. It's a lot more homey, friendly, warm. One time we were just talking about having a preference of locking our doors like throughout the day and whatnot. And so I texted in like mine and my roommates and my other roommates group chat. And because both like previously, my roommate and I, my original one, we like to keep our doors locked. And so I texted the group chat and I was like, I don't know how to bring this up without having to like nail them, being like, yo, you're the problem. You're the reason why our door's not locked. You do not say that at all. You do not say that at all. So I framed it as, hey, I just wanted to reach out, get your guys' thoughts. Would you guys be okay with locking the doors when we leave? Nothing bad has happened. I just want to make sure that nothing bad does happen. And everybody was like, yeah, cool. And I was like, sweet. And another thing was like the temperature. Like, our apartment has terrible terrible circulation. And so one side of the house, or the apartment, is very cold. And then the other side is like blazing hot. It's like, I'm trying to think, it's maybe like, I don't even know, maybe like 30 degrees Celsius. It's like 80-ish, and it's like hot. And so I personally like my living area very cold, and it's very cold on their side of the apartment. And so I'm like, okay, I said to them this morning, hey, do you have like a preference on the temperature of the apartment? And they were like, I mean, not really, like. And so I was like, yeah, it's just been kind of like hot, and so that's why we kind of like to keep it colder. And then they were like, oh, it just gets really cold at night, that's why I turned it off. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, like we can compromise on a temperature. And then they were like, no, it's fine, like I can just wear like a hoodie. And this morning I was like, I felt bad because it's like, it's also their apartment too. And I was just saying, like, I said to them, I was like, hey, like we can make a compromise on temperature. Like if we want to bump it up to like 31 or like whatever, like a few degrees higher. They were like, okay, that's fine. And so it's like, I think just like open communication about things, and like being from the perspective of curiosity rather than like blame. Because I think when we are trying to adjust to new things and live with new people, we want to blame because it's out of our normalcy, when in reality, it's their first time living too. Just because we have our normalcy doesn't mean that they don't have their normalcy, and that we need to be more open, inviting, loving to other people as well. And I think when we realize that our experiences are our own, and they have their own experiences, which have different lengths of understanding and living and being able to be our own independent person, we all have different standards. And I think that's something that we should all realize and recognize. So I want to leave you with this. When we don't understand somebody, when we don't relate to somebody, or their standards do not meet our standards, talk about it. Express questions. Ask in a kind way. Because put yourself in their perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. And remind yourself how you would feel being in their position. Because it's scary. Like, I could not imagine going into an apartment, knowing that there's people in it on a random Saturday, and being like, hey, I'm moving in, and knowing that like they're older than me. And it's like, I don't know how you wouldn't feel small, or I don't know how you wouldn't feel intimidated in trying to go into something that you're so brand new into. And so I think that's just really made me more aware of being kind and being warm and trying to compromise, because putting myself back into their shoes and trying to just be more self-aware of how I say things and do things, and just trying to be more kind, I think, to say the least. So yeah, it might be hard, and it might not be very easy, but I think you should always, always, always remember, each person is living their life for the first time, just like you and I. Food for thought.